In 1967 through 1970, Fort Madison, Iowa sent out numerous NAACP newsletters. These archives show tremendous support for civil rights, and the fight for freedom towards African Americans is incredibly prevalent. Throughout the archives, readers can find dates, times, and where committee meetings will be held place. Local and national news of the civil rights movement is broadcasted over these letters as well. Reminders to pay membership fees or encouragement to join NAACP are included. The newsletters also contain quotes from well-known people and activists like Franklin D. Roosevelt, Langston Hughes, and even John F. Kennedy. If civilization is to survive, we must cultivate the science of human relationships, the ability of all people of all kinds to live together in the same world in peace. Franklin D. Roosevelt. This newsletter makes it clear about how important and even urgent it is to contact both state and federal government about civil rights legislation. During this time, African Americans were suffering by being denied legal equality, constitutional rights, and enduring racial discrimination, which sadly was legal. Cries for help echoed around the country, but no monumental changes seemed to be happening. The inhumane and unjust discrimination persisted. The majority of America from the late 1950s to late 60s was an incredibly uncomfortable and unwelcome place for people of color, but it is possibly the most memorable years of justice in America. The civil rights movement will remain the largest, most horrifying, but liberating piece of history for African Americans. After the death of John F. Kennedy in 1963, President Johnson urged churches everywhere to read Kennedy's Thanksgiving proclamation as a memorial to the late former president. This statement fortifies President Kennedy's support of equality and President Johnson's efforts to continue the movement.
Our dedication to the ideals that are America. Let us pray for His divine wisdom in banishing from our land any injustice or intolerance or oppression to any of our fellow Americans, whatever their opinion, whatever the color of their skins.
The NAACP and its newsletters continued to update members about the movement throughout the country. By 1968, the Civil Rights Act was altered and signed many times. Kennedy promised a bill to Congress about equality for Negroes. MLK delivered his infamous "I Have a Dream" speech. Malcolm X, JFK, and MLK were assassinated, and the equality of African Americans was almost complete. The messages that were continuously portrayed by these Fort Madison NAACP archives was the significance of joining the movement, exercising man's rights, and fighting for everyone's well-deserved freedom, ideas that still apply today.